The 2026 workplace is not just coming, but it's already here. And if you're still thinking in traditional career paths, you're likely falling behind. So today, it's great to have Matt Ober here from Social Leverage Venture Capital Funds. We're going to move past the noise. We're going to discuss a whole bunch of stuff like tokens versus salary. We're going to talk about the rise of the one-person firm. And we're going to talk about the SaaS apocalypse that's coming and how we value human roles and a whole bunch of stuff in between. It's a super interesting pod. You can't miss it. Hope you enjoy it. Cool. Matt, welcome to the pod.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. How you been?
I've been good. It's an exciting time.
It is. I was just saying that our king came to visit you guys. I think he came to save the special relationship.
Yeah, a lot of special relationships these days.
There's an awful lot. Anyway, thank you for taking the time. Really appreciate it. I wanted to touch on like maybe 4 things, which keep coming up. So I wanted to just talk about tokens and salary. And I remember, I think Jensen Wang was saying that if he hires engineers and they don't absolutely rinse the tokens, they might be out. Anyway, just wanted to get your thoughts on that. I haven't had many people ask for a token allowance as part of their package yet. Some are. I think that's going to increase. But I just wanted to get your take on that to start with.
I got to imagine it's going to be part of the packages, but I think the flip side should just be like, what's the culture of the firm, right? Like, are we expected? Are we all in on AI? Do we realize like we shouldn't be restricted by how much tokens we're using if our output is going up, 5, 10, 20, 30x. So I think it's coming. I think every company, both the early stage and late stage are just trying to figure it out in all honesty.
Yeah. Are you finding that the token costs have just skyrocketed? I mean, are people paying more?
I don't know if it's a token cost or just like the token, it's just the usage is skyrocketing. I mean, I think about my own firm, like, we're automating everything with Claude, right? Like I almost joke like, I remember when I worked in the hedge fund industry, I used to say I didn't want to work with vendors if they weren't integrated with Snowflake. And now I feel like I'd question signing up with a vendor if they don't have a MCP plugin.
Interesting. Yeah. No, it's true. And why did you land on Claude?
Why did we land on Claude? I just think what they've done with building skills and from an enterprise perspective, it's just so easy to use. Like we'll use Whisper to talk instead of type.
Yeah.
And then Claude can build us skills for everything from investment memos to like, now we rebuilt our whole website and companies can submit like their pitch deck if they don't have a warm intro to us. And now we're going to integrate a company called Ribbon.ai, which we're investors in. So you can do a voice interview. So meaning like if you want to submit your deck and you want to go through an interview with us, which the voice AI is going to be essentially trained on the questions we already ask in the first call, speed all of that up, do it. And then when you submit to us, like we're already like on step 3 by the time if we're interested. And like, to be honest, like cold emailing to get an intro with a venture capital firm is hard anyways. So you might as well like put your best step forward. And like, I think it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
So what's Ribbon AI?
Ribbon AI is like a voice AI technology company out of Toronto.
Okay.
They've built, there's a lot of like voice technology for AI. What they really excel at is long form discussion. So they've been used a lot by the recruiting space for like phone screening and interviews because it can speak 12 languages, it can do video, it can detect a lot of different things, and then do scoring and like, obviously you can listen to the transcripts or read the transcripts, but they're really good at long form, right? There's a lot of good voice AI for like 5-minute chats, but if you want to do an hour-long call or more, Ribbon's technology is really powerful, and it's also being used by like expert networks.
Interesting.
For like
talking to experts. So you're finding so your like workflow, a firm needs money, so they'll submit their pitch deck. If you like them, whatever, you'll send them a link to a Ribbon AI interview, and then Sorry, go on.
No, I mean, I think like obviously the best way to meet a venture firm in any way is like through a warm intro. But if you're going to go the cold route, rather than a cold email to one of our generic emails, like you can submit on our website. If it fits a lot of the boxes that we're interested in, then it'll ask you if you want to do a voice interview with our AI, which is powered by one of our portfolio companies. So like we're eating our own cooking.
Nice.
And from there, like I get all that information and can quickly be like, listen, I think this could be, really interesting for us, or like it's not a fit. But like you've also saved your own time as a founder. Like now you could do that voice AI call at midnight on a Wednesday versus like my calendar, which is California time, and maybe today I only have like an hour that's free.
Yeah, yeah. I like that. I like that. And then that comes through to your Claude,
Mm-hmm.
and then Claude will summarize it for you.
Summarize it, feed it into our CRM. Could I build a scoring model or a comparison model?
Yeah.
I could feed it into our investment analysis skills that would look at the company and the sector and pull public fundamentals. So we use fiscal.ai, which is another portfolio company,
Yeah.
to get all the public comps. So we could build out like, hey, this is a company that's building in the insurance space. If they make it big one day, what does similar companies that they're going after look like in the public markets? Are they $1 billion market caps? Are they 10 billion? Are there no public companies in that space? You're doing hours or days worth of work in seconds.
Yeah, love that. Love that. We're doing similar. We also use Claude, and they've got Claude for Claude chat. They've got Claude projects, so you can give it context. And when we're doing a search, we put all of the context, all of the info, and we end up having 2 humans and an AI exec search consultant on each search. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's really cool. And now you just got to get a little voice AI in there and use Ribbon sourcing tools.
All over Ribbon. I'll put it in the show notes. Do you know what though? It's interesting because for me, and I'm doing executive search, which we do leadership roles, and generally people are happily employed and not expecting.
Might be a little bit different. They want to meet you in face to face.
Yeah, they just want that. They want a cuddle. They want to be like, hey, what they want a bit of love and stuff like that. And so we sat down as a group and just thought through like what are we happy to use AI for, and at what point do we make it human to human? I can see you. I mean, for what you're doing, it's perfect. Your use case is incredible, right? I mean,
if you think about like big manufacturers, you talked about a robotics company. If you think about all the employees they're hiring for the factory floor and everything, that should all be done by voice AI. So maybe Ribbon's a partner for you to pitch to the executives after you find them in their role.
Yeah, 100%. What's your thoughts on voice AI versus video for interviews specifically?
So I actually think what Ribbon's doing makes the most sense. They're doing their voice AI, but the employer can require or make it optional for the employee to turn on their video. So my opinion is like, it's like LinkedIn. If you don't have a picture on your LinkedIn, it's kind of questionable at this point. If you don't want to put on your video for the call, like, what are we doing this for? I get it. Maybe in some blue collar type of jobs, you don't need to do the video, or depending on the role, but like if it's any other role, like you're really trying to win it, what do you got to do? You got to put on, like, nobody knows if you're wearing shorts or whatever you're wearing. You put on a t-shirt or a polo and make sure that there's some sort of light on in the room.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What are your thoughts though? I was just quite sure. I did a pod with they're called Get Real Labs, but anyway, they focus on seeing whether or not the person in front of you on the video is real or an AI avatar with lip sync. And so your risk with this stuff, right, is I don't know, some
deepfakes and everything.
Yeah. I mean, have you thought much about that? Have you ever come across it?
I haven't come across it. I know that Ribbon has like cheating detection built into their offering, where it can like sense if people are like, potentially using AI, like moving their eyeballs, or like, there's a lot of like detection that they built in for the employers. So I think like it's a cool topic. You should talk to them one day, because I feel like they've thought through this a lot. Like, how do you really like hone in on things? How do I not like send my agent to go do the interview for me?
Yeah, I'd love to chat with them. I had a friend of mine call me. He's got a small business. He interviewed someone on Zoom or Teams, and he called me. He's like, Lewis, like they're the best candidate ever. What should I do next? And I'm like, well, are you in the same city? And they were like, yeah. So I said, meet them in person, and anyway, so he messaged the candidate, and he got an email back saying, just to let you know, that was my avatar plugged into ChatGPT. And I mean, he felt violated. He was like,
Yeah.
what? I said, well, you're probably interviewing like it was like 1990 with some like bad interview script, I think. Yeah, you got to be
That's
careful.
awesome.
You got
Yeah,
to be
you gotta
careful.
be.
So just kind of focusing a little bit on startups and margins and stuff. So you just on the token specifically, when you're looking at startups and portfolio companies, a token is now a kind of a line item in the P&L. Are you finding actually that they're maybe even more expensive than hiring a human to do the job that particular? I mean, where
Maybe,
are we kind of
and
at
I
with
don't
it?
I don't think we're there yet on the analysis, but I think that the right person with AI should be able to get, so much more done, right? But I also think that it depends on the industry. Like I think about my team, like we need people that can do face-to-face and in-person meetings, right? And have a
Yeah,
network and source deals. Like I'm much more powerful with AI, but if you put somebody in my seat with like none of the network, none of the sales, none of the like other stuff, like we're building so many pieces on our own. Like I don't know how much more operational we need. That was very different a year ago,
yeah,
right? And we had someone on our team, Ethan, who like obviously really pushed us forward and like being early on this stuff. But I feel like just in the last like 60 days, I feel like things have gotten so much easier.
yeah, yeah. Are you building your own stuff with Claude Code and things? Like how are you?
Claude Code, skills, we've got our MCPs connected
Good.
from everything from granola notes to Affinity CRM to, I think I put out a tweet or something on LinkedIn recently. I had ChatGPT like design with their new image models, like a really sexy looking tech stack for what it looks like at Social Leverage. Like all the
Love
different
that.
tools we use that have MCPs flowing into Claude and how that pushes down to like all the different skills and projects we've created.
I love that. Granola is interesting. Actually, I think I've been being marketed hard on Instagram by Granola. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll download you. Uh, the thing I find now is it's almost overwhelming how many incredible tools there are. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm using Whisper like you, voice to text. It's great. We've got Google Workspace, so we've got Gemini baked into everything. They've just released quite a cool Ask Gemini within your Gmail that kind of which cuts into all of your Google products. That's cool. We've got Claude and everything plugged in. And then there's like Perplexity Computer, which looks really cool. And then there's this, and then there's that. And how are you?
Well,
Are you trying it?
it's a lot. I mean, I think we play with
So
a lot of
much.
things.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
the churn on a lot of things for people is big. I started using Blockit.ai as my executive assistant for scheduling because like,
yeah. Block it.
on an
Message
average
me. It
day,
was
I
good.
might have 8 to 10 meetings and
Yeah,
it's great. It helps me with my travel and moving things around and like it's
yeah,
built
yeah.
into Slack. So I
It's
mean, listen,
cool.
I think we're all going to be much more efficient. I kind of feel like I'm
Yeah,
getting hours and hours back and have more and more time for, founders and investors and just thinking through things. So it's
yeah,
fun.
yeah. No, it's cool. It's cool. Just want to move on to like SaaS software firms. People are calling it the SaaS apocalypse, things like that. These traditional models of, you know, generally your customers will be increasing the seats and all of that. I mean, like, what are you trying to kind of your general view on that space now and the business models and
Listen,
the
I think
survival rate of some of these?
with any new technology, like you're either going to adopt or, be disrupted. I don't think every SaaS company is going away. I think that there are going to be pain points for transformations. We've had digital transformations, cloud transformations, companies that didn't have a website for checkout and e-commerce during COVID that had to figure it out. Like, even think about like Target, like didn't have a great like online business for a long time. I think
Yeah,
it's definitely tough as an early stage investor to think about what the mode is because it's so easy to build things now, right?
yeah,
Like software is so easy to build. So like, what's your mode? It's got to be either data or marketing and distribution, or there's got to be a human services element to it. But I don't think every company is going away. But I do think you got to adopt and you got to disrupt yourself.
yeah. How has that influenced your investment thesis and when you're looking at firms to invest in? Has that changed recently or?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're more focused on sales, marketing, and distribution leaders than we need full technical leaders. We're not deep tech investors, right? I do fintech and vertical SaaS, vertical AI is 90% of the portfolio. So like I need to understand like how are they going to get to market? What is their moat? Is it some sort of data moat? What's the wedge in, and how's it going to be sticky long term? And then we are very curious and doing some investments in and around things that still have a human element, but can you make the rest of the process and job like fully AI like agents? So I think it's an exciting time, but you got to be cautious. And I think like it's a lot of money going into things, and you can wake up and Claude's going to do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, Claude has just been the last. They seem to be coming out with an update every day, every single day. Relaunched my Claude desktop, and like another update. And
the announcement economy. That's what we live in, right?
Yeah. It's incredible. I don't know where it's come from. I mean, they've really landed well with this B2B. It feels like they're kind of trying to own this B2B space.
Yeah, I agree.
They've done an incredible job. Are they going? Do you think they'll go public this year or next year? OpenAI.
I mean, it sounds like the plan. Them, OpenAI,
SpaceX.
and SpaceX. I mean, Sam Altman's got to deal with this lawsuit from Elon first and see where that plays out. I think Anthropic feels like they're kind of feels like they're in the lead and the safest bet right now out of the three. But like, would you ever bet against Elon? And like, he's got SpaceX, and it's just a matter of time before they roll Tesla into it. And then it's just like they might as well make the stock ticker Elon and just ELON, and you're betting on him. Throw the Boring Company in there, those brain chips that they have, and like they all kind of work together, right? Tesla 100%. needs the AI models. Twitter is the data. SpaceX takes the all of the servers and everything into the air, and also like lets us all live on Mars, where maybe we get Wi-Fi from Starlink.
Yeah, he's also got batteries, solar. I mean, I would not bet against Elon. I would not bet against Elon. But I agree. I think SpaceX and Tesla are 100% gonna merge. What I'm really interested in is all the companies built on the shoulders of SpaceX as they start to build the space station on the moon and mine the asteroid belt above and all of that kind of stuff. I'm quite looking forward to calling someone and be like, hey, I've got this great role. How would you feel about spending 1 day a week off Earth? That's coming.
Yes, the new compute, the new commute.
Yeah. Be crazy. I just want to touch on this 1 billion person firm. I know you've spoken about it a bit. I've read a few things you've said in it. Where you want then? Do you think we'll see that soon? And when you're looking at firms to invest in as well, is that something that you've seen where the founder's like, hey, you've got this great plan, it's me, and
I think we saw one company. There was a lot of news about them in the weight loss drug space. They kind of crossed $1 billion. It was one person before he hired somebody. Listen, I think that we will see companies built with one person and get to $1 billion, just because like it's all about sales and distribution, right, and marketing. And then like if you figure something out, like all the other stuff can be built with AI agents, right? Like you have a sales team with SDRs. You can do your marketing, your operations, and finance. So like I definitely think it'll happen. I think when I think about like financial services and the investment space, like I think we will see hedge funds where one guy can do all the work of the investment team and no longer need to hire analysts and operations people. So things are changing quickly there too, which is really where my
it still does take. I mean, with all of the agents and stuff, it does still take time to manage them and to prop them properly and to give context and to run them. A lot of them, I don't think they're quite. I mean, from my perspective anyway, they're not quite ready to run on their own.
I think that's fair, but they're getting better every day, right?
100%. Yeah, 100%. So you'll set up your $100 billion fund, you agents, marketing.
Yeah, listen, I think right. For all the expert network stuff, they use Ribbon AI. Why outsource it? I think that sales and marketing, like Claude skills are really good for that. You can build your CRM. Amazing. You can reach out to your LPs. If you realize that they're not reading your monthly and quarterly reports, for 2 months in a row, send a personalized note with your executive assistant that's an AI agent that can say like, hey, I'm going to be in your city because it knows your travel schedule. Can I get an hour with you to just get you up to date on the portfolio?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Interesting times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Matt. I really appreciate it. It's good to good to chat. I'll be interested to see where all this lands. But yeah, it's good. I'm already. I reckon there's going to be so many more jobs created off the back of this. But there's an awful lot of people that are going through things right now where they're seeing their jobs outsourced or cut, and hard to imagine for them what the future might hold when they're in that particular moment.
Yeah, I think we are going through a big upskilling and reskilling of the workforce across every level.
Yeah. Just maybe a quick last thing. Any advice to anyone that is not on the train? It's like looking ahead and be like, oh my God, AI could probably do about 80 to 90% of my work. Is there any kind of things that they could start to think about, tools that they could start to use just as a first point?
I think you just got to play around with it. It's actually not that difficult to use Claude. Like try Manus. Like Manus even makes it easier.
Yeah.
But like you're essentially just talking about like build something like just to try it out. Like I remember a website from 10 years ago that I really liked that no longer exists. It was like an investment tool. I just used Manus and brought up the website. It was able actually to find like an old like domain to see what it looked like. And I rebuilt the thing in like 2 hours, just talking to it. Not getting technical or anything, just like walking through how I'd want it to work. And it worked perfectly. And like reality is I could have started a business with that. Right? It was a real company. Like there's probably a business there if I had time to just put into it, even on the side. So like be anything you want to do. There's really nothing holding back people except for their creativity.
100%. If you can imagine it, you can make it happen through language. Right. I love that. So Manus were going to be bought by Meta, right? And I think the Chinese government have put a stop to that. Interesting to see how that materializes. Next pod, we'll see. Anyway, thank you so much. Good to chat.
Good chatting with you.
Speak soon.